Welcome back to Torn Apart News, the only place on the internet where we tear the news apart bit by bit until Deadpool can finally kill all of the incredibly mediocre MCU movies and we can go back to something that looks like fun.
I know that when you see Madam Web, you're gonna love it. In fact, I think you're gonna see it twice.
I won't do it! I won't do it! You can't pay me! You can't pay me! No! God, please, no! No!
Thank you for being here, and today we're talking about something that a lot of people have already talked about. We are analyzing Deadpool and Wolverine's trailer. I don't know if you've heard, but there is a new movie coming out this year called Deadpool 3. It's gonna be the only MCU movie coming out this year. We've been discussing it for quite some time, mostly because of leaked production images and the fact that Hugh Jackman is coming back as Wolverine, and honestly, it looks quite fun.
Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much.
It's directed by Sean Levy, who you might know because he worked on quite a lot of Ryan Reynolds projects like Free Guy and The Adam Project as well, but he also worked with Hugh Jackman at the same time with his film Real Steel. To be honest, when it comes to Deadpool movies, every single one of them has had a different director, so I'm not really worried about the Deadpool movie not having a particular style or a particular tone just because of the change of director and just because this guy seems to be just a normal Hollywood yes man, because at the end of the day, the Deadpool movies are good mostly because of improvisational comedy, good dialogues, and a good script at the end of the day. We haven't seen Deadpool since Deadpool 2 in 2018, which was directed by David Leitch. First one came out in 2016. The first thing that we have to talk about when it comes to this trailer is the fact that Deadpool is basically being recruited by the TVA to go on some kind of mission. And there are a lot of people coming back from the X-Men universe, but also people like Jennifer Garner, who played Elektra in the movie Elektra and in the incredibly bad first adaptation of Daredevil on the big screen. So there are a lot of weird cameos, of course, and unexpected ones that are probably not listed on IMDb pages or on Wikipedia as well. This is why we like the Deadpool movies at the end of the day. The thing that worries me a little bit is that at the end of Deadpool 2, in a post-credit scene, it was clearly shown that Deadpool used Cable's machine to go back in time and to basically fix some of the things that he didn't like about the multiverse. So I'm sitting here being like, why would the TVA actually come back to recruit this guy instead of trying to kill him, trying to take him away like they do in the series of Loki? Because that's what they do at the end of the day. They try to stop people who mess up with time. So I'm wondering whether this was a bit of a scheme that they did with the trailer, where they're pretending that basically this is gonna be his main mission, but maybe he's gonna be hunted by the TVA and he's gonna be trying to recruit some people across the multiverse to help him fight the TVA. That would be way more logical when you think about it, because I really doubt they would go into a weird direction, kind of like a Flashpoint direction, where they would ask Deadpool to kill and erase variants within the multiverse that basically Kevin Feige doesn't like anymore, to make sure that we have a straight chronology slash timeline for the next few movies that are gonna be coming out in the MCU. It would actually be incredibly funny if Deadpool ended up killing Kang himself, or like a lot of different versions of Kang. But if there was like a montage of like 2 minutes of him killing Kang over and over and over again until it was like, okay, we're done with that. Now we can move on and do something completely different. Hope you like that. That would be kind of cool at the end of the day. I feel like this movie is supposed to be about Deadpool's relationship with Wolverine. That's gonna be the core of this movie here. We have seen Wolverine in production images wearing the iconic suit from the comics, of course, and from the animated series as well. So I'm sitting here wondering which version of Wolverine is this going to be? And I hope that we keep the surprises going, because I don't want a lot of trailers to come out and for us to know everything that we need to know about this movie. Deadpool movies are good mostly because of the surprises, right? But if you'd like to know who else is coming back, we also have Aaron Stanford, who you might remember because he used to play Pyro hero in the original X-Men trilogy. We also have Sabretooth and Toad, but we don't know whether the actors are gonna be come back as well. And we have Emma Corrin, who is gonna be playing the main villain. And of course, as you can see in the trailer, we have our favorite characters coming back like Vanessa, Peter, Yukio, Negasonic Teenage Warhead. And I love how they built a weird family structure for these Deadpool movies. A lot of people expected this trailer, and I think it delivered. I think it was quite awesome. We have to wait still a little bit for it though, because it's coming out on July 26th. Let's head into our next piece of news and talk about the movie Twisters. I think I talked about this topic on a previous TikTok when I was doing Torn Apart news over there, and it's basically a weird standalone sequel to the original movie. It's starring Daisy Edgar Jones. Honestly, the special effects look incredibly cool, and this from an European perspective is just like a fun disaster movie, but I'm pretty sure that from an American lens it's probably way more close to home because, well, you get quite a lot of tornadoes in certain areas over there. At the end of the day, I'm not surprised they're making another movie of this genre here, mostly because it was the second highest grossing of 1996 of that year, with something like 495 million worldwide, which is quite a lot at the end of the day. And I was honestly quite shocked to find out also that the official trailer of this movie got 6.9 million views in just 24 hours. I think it got more than the Deadpool 3 trailer, which is insane. Are people really into Twister? Weird. The movie is directed by Lee Isaac Chung, who you might know because he directed the drama Minari back in 2020. And we don't really know that much about this movie, but the original movie was about Bill and Joe Harding, who were advanced storm chasers on the brink of divorce, who must join together to create an advanced weather alert system by putting themselves in the crosshairs of extremely violent tornadoes. And from what we can gather from the trailer, it looks like they're trying to develop a technology to basically stop tornadoes. I think this is what the movie is gonna be about, but at the end of the day, it looks like a lot of fun and distraction. This is why we go to these disaster movies at the end of the day, right? And the next topic is gonna be about X-Men 97, because we have a trailer as well. This was a bit of a weird project. It was rumored quite some time ago. It's coming out on March 20, and it's supposed to be a revival of the original X-Men series.
To me, my X-Men.
The X-Men animated series is probably one of the best Marvel animated series ever. It kind of is at the same level as the Batman animated series when it comes to how fans have perceived it across the years. And it's supposed to be made of 10 episodes, and a second season is already in development. The X-Men face dangerous new challenges following the loss of the leader, Professor X, because yeah, apparently, I haven't watched the original series, but he died by the end of it. And you can also see it at the very beginning of this trailer here, where we get a little bit of a recap as well. The interesting thing about this revival is that there's a lot of cast members who are actually returning from the original series to reprise their roles. People like Hill Dodd, Leonard Zan, George Buza, Catherine Disher, Chris Potter. And this looks quite fun, but I wonder whether is this gonna be actually interesting for people who didn't grow up with the original X-Men animated series? Does it have anything new to say? Or is it just like a fourth or fifth season, if you know what I mean? But I guess we'll have to wait a couple of weeks to find that out. Now let's head into our bonus news. This is where I try to rapid fire as many news about the movie and TV shows of the week as fast as possible so you can go back to your lives.
Finally!
The first bonus news of the day has to do with the Fantastic Four casting, because yes, we have an official poster and we finally know who these amazing actors are gonna be. Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Ebon Boss, and Joseph Quinn. We also know that this movie is gonna come out on July 25, and it's gonna be releasing the same month as Superman Legacy, and it's gonna be set in 1963. We also have an Oscars teaser trailer, kind of in the same vibe of Barbie, and honestly it's kind of fun, even though Jimmy Kimmel looks like he can't act in the trailer, which sounds fair at the end of the day. We have some casting news for the Karate Kid movie, and I think we finally know who our Karate Kid is gonna be, and he's gonna be played by Ben Wong, who you might know because of the series American Born Chinese. So he's gonna be one of the main lead alongside Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio. We also have another teaser trailer for Park Chan Wook's new series called The Sympathizer. It's coming out on April 14th. It looks quite interesting, and I was hoping that they wouldn't reveal as much in the trailer, especially because Park Chan Wook is a really good director. We also have a teaser trailer for a movie called Wicked, which is an adaptation of the stage musical that you probably know based on The Wizard of Oz and that kind of stuff. It looks very colorful, but I'm not that interested by it. It's directed by John M. Chu, who you might know because he's behind the movie Crazy Rich Asians. A trailer that intrigued me though was the trailer of the movie Damsel, which is a Netflix fantasy movie that is coming out on March 8th and is starring Millie Bobby Brown. It's also directed by Juan Carlos Fernandillo, who you might know because he directed the very good movie 28 Weeks Later. I honestly really dig the concept of this movie. We also have an official release date and posters for the final season of The Umbrella Academy. It's gonna come out on August 8th. The thing that really bothered me about these posters is that I saw them for the first time on Instagram, and basically you had to swipe to see all of them, and they didn't even bother to line them up perfectly. So it really pissed me off, mostly because this design is quite simplistic and they didn't really exploit it to their maximum potential as well. We have a poster and trailer for an incredibly weird movie which is executive produced by Ari Aster. It's called Sasquatch Sunset and it's coming out on April 12. It premiered at the Sundance Festival and it's starring Jesse Eisenberg and Riley Keough, and it's basically about a year in the life of a Sasquatch family. The concept seemed incredibly weird. It reminds me of movies like The Grizzly Bear or even Swiss Army Man. Honestly, I'm quite hyped for it. And now to end this episode, let's add into my favorite segment of the week, which is called And for Something Weird. This is where we take a time to have a look at something weird that happened within the movie and TV industry. And this week I'm showing you something related to AI, but also related to Despicable Me, which I thought that was quite clever and funny, especially coming from the minions themselves.
Artificial intelligence is changing the way we see the world. The future is in good hands.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Torn Apart News. Don't forget to tune in next week on Monday for more news about the movie and TV industry. I'm Patrick, and this is Torn Apart News.
Back in the 90s, I was in a very famous TV show.
No, not you again.
It's Madam Webbing time.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da.